not do up to half of what most persons did, and I still got job.
So in as much as they refer you, you also need to bring in your A game. The person will not come and do your interview for you. Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel. It's still your girl Christie. Yes, so have a new person in the house. You might not have seen her before, but you should know even before I make the introductions.
Right.
They say we look alike, and she bought me a wig that looks like hers, so we are looking like twins. So guys, we have in the house today my sister, the one I suck breast and remain for. My sister. So guys, my sister is a nurse in the UK standard nurse. She was a nurse from Nigeria. Sorry, nurse, right? Nurse, not nurse.
Nurse.
So she was a nurse from Nigeria, and she relocated to the UK on a skilled visa work, skilled work visa. Skilled work visa as a nurse. Okay. So, and a lot of persons have been asking me, thinking I was the one who worked it for her, saying how did I do it? How did I bring my sister over to the UK? I do not know anything. So she worked her things from beginning to the end of how she came to the UK. And so I just felt to brought her online because, of course, I always bring God's value. Whenever I do something that is going to be beneficial to my audience, I try to get it for us. So I invited her today to come and share with us her story, the beginning to the end of how she found herself in the UK as a Nigerian trained nurse and doing work for herself. So her name is Ifnaya Love, yes. So Ify, yes, we call her Ify. Tell us, just tell me now, let's say I'm a nurse in Nigeria, wanting to relocate to the UK, you know, as a professional nurse. What do I need to do? How do I go about it?
Okay. So the very first step is you have to be a registered nurse in Nigeria. If you are not a registered nurse in Nigeria, I don't know how you want to walk your way around and coming to the UK and start and all that.
So sorry, how do I get to be a registered nurse in Nigeria?
There are several ways. Of doing that. Like, for example, I attended School of Nursing. So you can go through a School of Nursing program, which is about maybe 3 to 4 years, depending on the institution. Some schools actually make it a program of 5 years because they have some other part of nursing that they teach that some other schools don't teach, right? So mine was 3 years. You can go through universities, spend your 5 years in university, get your certificate, and then you start the process, right? So if your major reason for wanting to be a nurse, or wanting to, maybe if the reason why you want this nursing whatever is because you want to travel out, I would advise you to go through the School of Nursing process, spend your 3 years or maybe 4 years as the case may be, and then you start your process as soon as possible. Yeah, so when you've gotten your nursing school certificate,
sorry, please, before you go further, what's the difference between School of Nursing and university?
Okay, it's just the BSc.
Okay.
You're spending 5 years in university, you're getting your general nursing certificate. That's you're getting your registered nursing certificate, which I have, and then you're going to get your BSc certificate. Then 1 additional or 2 additional post-basic nursing courses. Do you get? Like, for example, someone who went to the university, let me say UNIZIK, for example, Nnamdi Azikiwe University, you're coming out with your registered nursing certificate, which is the general nursing certificate, your BSc certificate. You're coming out with a public health certificate and a midwifery certificate. So you don't have to like necessarily now go to study midwifery as a post-basic on its own, or public health. You already have those 2. Do you understand? So it means you have 3 different aspects of nursing that you can work and function in. Kind of, yeah. So that's the difference. But once you have your registered nursing certificate, you're good to travel to any country of your choice. Yeah. So
which you can get even by going to school of nursing.
Yeah, that's what school of nursing gives to you. Don't go for, because we have basic midwifery. Like, okay, if you go for that too, it's just like it's just that it's a different process. If you go to post basic school of midwifery, basic school of midwifery, where you spend 3 years studying midwifery, you can also travel say to the UK. It's just that the parts and the process is kind of different from the registered nursing,
general nursing.
The general nursing So when you've gotten your certificate, now if you've not gotten the registered nursing certificate yet and you're looking towards going to a school of nursing, I will advise you in your final year to start working towards getting your IELTS. Yeah, that's the English exam, either IELTS or OET, depending on what you want. Me, I'll be poor person. I don't get money, so I went for the one with the lesser cost. Yeah, do you get? Yeah. So which was IELTS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or so are you saying for UK either IELTS or OTE works?
OET, yeah.
Okay, OET.
Yeah, any of the two. So for OET, I don't really know. I know I should have done my research before coming here, but she told me I'm coming to just talk about how I did mine. Yeah, my own process, since that's what I can actually talk about more. So for the OET, I think they have a band. Their bands are maybe A, B, and C, and then maybe if your band is B, you're good to travel out. I don't know how it's being done, but you can make your research and get back, like, know what is required of you. For IELTS, at least I can talk so well about IELTS. So for the IELTS, the English exam, the band score that is required of you, although it's being reviewed now, they're trying to see if they can bring the scores down because people are really complaining. So for the UK, you need a total band score of 7.5. That's the total everything. So people should not mind my English. I passed IELTS does not mean I can speak English. Yeah, so 7.5 the total band score. Then for each individual module, for speaking, you need, I hope I can still remember these things because I was not really interested in the individual whatever, because I had way more than what was expected, what was required. So speaking 7.5, right? Writing 7, listening 7.5, all of them 7.5 apart from writing, which is 7. That's the required band score. Yeah, so then the total band score should now be 7.5. so if you have a total band score of 7.5 and you have a less, like you didn't meet up to a particular requirement in each module, you have to rewrite. So the good thing now is UK accepts merging of 2 results. There's a 10 for it. I'm sorry, I don't go school, so I can't remember. So there's a 10 for it. So the thing is,
they just incorporated that now.
No, it's been there.
Really?
Yeah, it's been there. The like I said, they are reviewing their requirements for IELTS and all these things. So one of the things that they've been able to effect, one of the changes they've been able to effect is what's it called? How long, like for example, initially, if you're merging 2 results together, those 2 results should not be more than 6 months apart. Like if it's more than 6 months, you can't do that. So you have to be within 6 months. Like the exams have to be within 6 months. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So one of the things they effected now is it doesn't, like, even if it's more than 6 years, as long as 6 months, I need to say. So as long as you have your 2 results and you've gotten what you wanted, even if it's up to a year, even if they are a year apart, you can still use them. So that's a good thing. So if you've been looking for your required band score for more than 1 year and you eventually got one that makes sense and you want to merge your results with the very first one, you can go ahead with that. So once you've gotten your IELTS now, as when I wrote, was 78,000 naira. I don't know how much it is now. You know, Nigerians now, every month money for things they increase now. Yeah, so That's the price for the IELTS stuff. And you basically need the IELTS whatever for your nursing body registration in the UK. Yeah. So
So the
now
IELTS is a necessary
it's a
step.
necessary step
After you must have gotten your general nursing certificate from
Yeah.
either School of Nursing or the university.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so what else? Now you need to start. The reason why I talked about IELTS is because for those who want to start from the scratch, yeah, from the very beginning, you don't have to wait till after graduation before you come and say, okay, let me start this process. So if when you're in your final year, you can start by preparing for and writing your IELTS. That was why I brought up the issue of IELTS. But most persons like starting from the very beginning of the registration because it's like a registration process. You need to register to the Nursing and Midwifery Council, the body in UK here. So now to start from the scratch, I hope I'm not confusing you guys.
I like how detailed it is.
Okay.
Like I'm thinking I should go and study nursing back now in Nigeria.
Okay. So now I want to talk about the registration process.
Okay.
You need to register. So the very first step of the registration, like normal when you want to open an account, maybe a social media account, the process of writing your name, your biodata kind of, yeah. So but before you can do that, you need to pay. You need to pay like is it £43? £140. See, I've even forgotten how much I paid. Money I suffered to gather. So you pay £140, the very initial payment, the very first payment.
This payment is money for what?
The registration itself, like you want to start registering, you want them to include your name into their the body, like before
of
the
UK, right?
Of UK, yeah.
Okay.
So which is £140.
And you do this payment from Nigeria?
You do it from Nigeria.
Okay.
You pay in pounds actually. So what people do is they look for persons in the UK that can help them with the payments because you can't use your Nigerian card to pay. We have a limit. Each bank have a limit to how much foreign currency transaction you can do. Yeah. So you look for someone in the UK who can make the payments for you, and you pay your £140 for the initial stage of the registration and everything. So good enough because what's going to happen is she is going to put in some links in her description box for those things, like in order to register in the NMC, that's Nursing and Midwifery Council of the UK here. The link to do that, I'll give the link to her so she can post it in the description box. So when you've done that, in your page, like your account in the NMC body, whatever, the step-by-step process of all those things are there. What is required of you
at
each step, what they need from you, every step, how to go about it. So there are 2 exams you need to write in Nigeria before you come over. IELTS exam, the first one, which I've talked about, yeah. Then we have CBT exam. Maybe they say CBT na computer based test. This one is majorly questions on nursing, what you were taught in school, and if you opportunity to work, what you encountered, what you encountered at work. And then the education standard. I'm not trying to belittle my country, but the education standard here is kind of higher than ours in Nigeria. So some of their questions will also come from how they do their things here, like the nursing here and all that. So it's not going to be a difficult thing because we've got several past questions on how to go about these things. And the beauty of it is that just like JAM, they repeat questions. Yeah, I was among the CBT body, Pearson View, people in charge of the exam, CBT and all that. They what's it called? They changed the exam. Like we have old CBT and we have new CBT. So they wanted, I think maybe they felt the exam was just too much to write at a time, or I don't know what their reason is. But I was among the first few persons that wrote the new CBT. I think I wrote like a month after they started the new CBT, and everybody was scared. Everybody wanted to meet up with the old CBT before they changed it to the new CBT, because nobody knew how it was going to be. And then, since it used to be like repetition of questions, me being the first, who do I want to go and collect expo from, you know, that kind of thing. But it was still like the same, like repeated question. Most of them were repeated, and the few that were new is still, they were still something you could like answer without help and all that, because it's not same, like you've encountered them one way or the other, so it's not something you should be bothered about. Or so yeah, there are past questions, and this has been going on for more than a year now, because they did it more than 2 years. I came in last year, so yeah, like more than a year. So you have more than enough past question. Like even when I wrote mine,
and they do these exams like every month.
They do it every day.
Wow.
Maybe they don't do Sundays per se, but I know Mondays to Saturdays you can write the exam. An hour plus exam. Your result comes out immediately.
Wow.
Paper 1 and paper 2. Before it used to be just one paper. You go write your exam, all the calculations and everything you write, and then you come back. But now the new CBT, we have 2 papers: the numeracy and the paper A. So numeracy, when I wrote, was just 15 questions. I don't know if it's still the same 15 questions, but even if it's more than that, it's something you can do. We are Nigerians, we are very good with maths. All you have to do is that thing your primary school teacher used to tell you: write your units, write your whatever it is they used to tell you to write after each calculation. Just follow those rules. Whatever calculation you do, you might finish doing your calculation, maybe your answer is 15 meals, and then you went to write 15. You did your calculation right, you're right, 15, but there should be a unit behind that 15. Is it 15 meals? Is it 15 stones?
Liters.
Do you understand? Yeah, liters is like an advanced price. Liters and meals are the same actually, so kind of. So do you understand what I'm trying to say? So studies for the CBT wouldn't be difficult. It's not going to be a difficult something, whatever. Look for past questions. Join groups. You know, we Nigerians, we like hiding things. I'm doing this thing. I don't want
any other person to know.
If people had not known when I was doing this thing, I don't think it would have been swift for me the way it was. I don't think I didn't spend up to a year. I know grace and luck is involved, do you understand? But I made efforts and I involved people. Do you understand? Always involve people in whatever it is you're doing. I won't say village people don't exist though, but to be sincere, person will go help you too now. If you know check and when now, your village person will go be too. So learn to tell people. There are people who will add you to groups. There are people who
will connect you to hiring managers.
Exactly. To be sincere. And then there are people who maybe the little advice they have, like to tell you, will help you eventually, one way or the other. So involve, most especially if those persons are nurses, involve people. IELTS, nobody knows it all. I didn't have a tutor, but persons introduced me to Telegram groups, WhatsApp groups, gave me materials, gave me links to websites that can do my past questions and answer them. I did not have a tutor.
I remember one link she also shared with me where to prepare for IELTS. I'll also add that in the description box. It feels like
very necessary.
Yes, it feels like you are writing IELTS with that link, the timing and everything, so you can use that to practice on your own even without a tutor. Once you do that for like 1 month, I think you'll be good to go when it comes to writing IELTS. So please do well to check the description box after now.
So meet people. Telegram groups helped me. Speaking, I'm not going to lie. I won't say I didn't practice speaking and writing. Now, what discouraged me, I had a friend then, you know, medical doctors now, their IELTS required scores and all that is higher than nurses and all. So I went to meet a medical doctor then, that was my friend from back then in school, to help me like with the IELTS stuff. Now I would do maybe some part of speaking and he will correct me. After the first two, I said, I'm not going to meet anybody again. Let me fail this exam. If I fail it, at least I know I've done it. I've seen how it's being done. I'll now correct myself by myself and rewrite the exam. And I did not practice any speaking again. Do you understand? What I was doing, it doesn't mean I didn't study. What I was doing is, I'll go and watch YouTube videos, how to tackle questions in speaking. All my Telegram groups, I used to join groups where, because they used to fix lectures, like after the whole write-up they will do from morning till night, they will give assignments, go and do submit by this time. And please be following all those things. Don't just join those groups because you want to join. Me, I take failure, I don't take failures lightly. I've failed before, not once, and I didn't take it lightly. So I took every exam I wrote, every, like for this process, I took every exam like so serious, because I knew what would happen if I fail one single exam. So all those assignments that are being given in each groups and everything, be dutiful, like do them dutifully and all that. Do you understand? People will be there to correct you, fellow learners like you, people that took it upon themselves to teach other people. Then if you feel you have the money to get extra tutors, you still get them in those groups, people that will teach you and everything. Do you get? But me, I didn't pay a dime, and I thank God for that, because I didn't have the money. It's not like I was stubborn, I didn't have the money. So that was it. The speaking, I was talking about speaking. More like every evening, the group then I was in Telegram, every evening they fix class for those who are ready to write, maybe who are writing the next day or 2 days after. I join them. I don't follow them to do the speaking whatever, because my exam was not soon. So I just learned from the corrections they were giving others. So I never practiced, I only practiced speaking twice. And from the correction I got, I was not even close to good. So the very first speaking, like good speaking I did, was the one I did in my exam hall that gave me, what was even my band score? 8, right? Speaking was the highest. Was it the highest? Was it speaking or listening? I can't even remember. But I was like, really? Then writing, there was this group in on WhatsApp, the 5 of us. We picked ourselves. We don't even know ourselves from anywhere. Picked ourselves from this Telegram group and brought ourselves to WhatsApp, because you know Telegram now, some of us, we were trying to get used to Telegram that period. So WhatsApp was the main where things are happening, stuff and all that. So every time, we even brought tutors to help us marking of writing and all that. The same thing happened. Writing, part 1 of writing is very, very easy compared to part 2 to me, because part 2 is more like you are the one thinking of ideas, things to write. You are thinking of ideas, you are thinking of how to arrange them the way they are supposed to be arranged, the correct English to use. That's for part 2. But for part 1, you're already giving maybe a diagram or a map or a picture. You're giving something. Your own is what are you seeing? Do you understand? Yeah. Just tell me what you're seeing using the correct English, correct sentences, correct phrases, correct words, all those things. Do you understand? So I felt it was easier just for me to submit the first part 1, and the person that will mark it to come and be telling me, you did not do this one, I know. I said, it's not the English I know anything. Do you understand? So it was discouraging, and I was like, okay, if it's failure, I've failed exams before, I did not die. Yes, I got depressed at some points, but I did not die. Let me fail this one and use from my failure to learn, because all this correction, I'm not looking for band 8, I'm not looking for band 9. Writing, what I need is just 7, or is it 6.5, and I'm good to go. So I just went writing. The writing I did was just part 1 writing, and I did it like 2 or 3 times. All those 3 times I was being told I've not even learned and I've not started, so I had to stop. So the only things I practiced was the listening and reading. Listening and reading, yeah. So those are the only things I practiced. And then I'm meticulous, and this kind of meticulous somebody. When I was doing my practice, then I used to set everything like I'm in the exam hall. Exam is like 4 hours, right? Each station, each module is 1 hour. So I'm practicing only 2, which was writing and reading. I gave myself 2 hours. After 1 hour, my alarm would tell me it's time for me to move over to the next paper. So it was like I was in the exam, the speed, the everything. I was not just testing myself on the knowledge, I was testing the speed and every other thing I know that I needed in the exam. Do you understand, like that kind of thing? So that's that. Let me not talk too much about IELTS. I just want to tell you the process. So your CBT, study for your CBT is not going to be difficult. Join groups, get past questions. I'm not in most of those groups again. Like, I don't almost reach 1 year for UK, so yeah, I'm not in all those groups again. But I'm going to source for them, and if there are links to some of them, she's going to post them for you guys. So discuss with your colleagues. That your colleague that you think that don't know anything, that finished telling you I'm not leaving this country, behind is preparing for IELTS or CBT or something. Speak with people. There are people who will link you to maybe groups or people that will help you. And even if you feel you don't have the money, speak with people. There are people who will lend you the money, that will close eye and lend you the money. So that's IELTS and CBT, the 2 exams you have to write in Nigeria before coming by. CBT is £83. So before you write CBT, you need to do nursing verification. This thing have increased though. Before I did mine, I used to hear if you want to do verification, you contact so and so person to do it for you. You now still pay some certain amount for tracking, so that they will do it fast tracking, so that they will do it fast, and you get your verification and continue your process. But I was lucky enough, and then it was just 18,000, I'll be 18,500. So I was lucky enough to be among the first set of people that did their own online, because they noticed many people are traveling now to UK, to US. They need this verification done. Verification is the one that Nursing and Midwifery Council in Nigeria will do for you, like verify you that yes, you are registered with us, we know you, go ahead, these people should take you into their body and whatever. So I paid a total of, I think, 21,000 when I did mine online, because as they introduced it into an online something, you do write in all your biodata and everything. Send. It's not like before. It used to be like you write letter to them telling them what you want from them, what you want to use it to do, and that kind of thing. But then they made it simpler, introduced it like it's something you can now do yourself online. Fill in your details, your NMC UK registration number. There's a number they will give you when you register and all those things. Just fill in all those details, and you don't have to travel to Abuja or where is safe? Is it Lagos, Abuja, or somewhere like that, sha. You don't have to go to NMC council office to go and be begging them, help me now, don't help me now. Fill your thing online. It will take time, sha, but at least your verification will be done. People still pay for fast tracking. Me, I did not pay for fast tracking. It took my verification 1 month to come out. Is it 1 month or 3 weeks? It sha did not reach 2 months. It did not kill me. It did not take time. It came out, which is still where grace comes in anyways.
My sister is a daughter of grace.
So people paid for fast tracking. I never did. So when the verification comes out, it's more like a mail giving you a go ahead. Okay, you can now write your CBT and OSCE. There's this exam we also call OSCE that we need to write. So my verification came out. I continued with the registration process. It was the verification stuff that, like, when you get your verification, you will send it to NMC UK, that you're now verified to write the exam and everything. So they will send you what's it called, there's a process, there's something they will do, sha, but the final people that will now get back to you with a mail giving you a go ahead to write the exam is Pearson VUE, like a body called Pearson VUE. They will give you the details and everything you need for the exam. Then you will pay for the exam, pick the dates you want to pick. All this while you're waiting for your verification and everything, be preparing for your CBT, so that once your details and everything comes out for the CBT, you just book your exam to a closer date and you write. Do you get? So once you've written, CBT is £83, you pay and write your exam. So once you've written the exam, so I've talked about 2 exams now, IELTS and CBT. you go back to your NMC UK page, that account you created. Then you go back there, upload your IELTS and CBT. There are options like
to upload file.
Yeah, to upload your files. They will tell you which file and how to upload and all that. So you upload those files. Now you need to get what's it called? You need to get someone like a medical doctor who will stand in there. We call it health declaration. Like standing, you don't really need any certificates for that. It's just the person's email, and then I think they will send a mail to the person to really get a confirmation that you're fit to practice and all that. So it's just they need the person's word, a medical doctor actually, that yes, you're fit to practice and all. So you get that. Me, I used, who did I even use? I used somebody that we graduated the same year. So it's not like a big, like, do you understand? It's not really a big deal as long as he's a registered medical doctor. Yeah, so he's good to go. You don't need a consultant per se or any doctor. It's fine. Me, I don't get long leg now. Which I get, I use. So you also need a place where you have to upload a police clearance certificate and TB. I don't know if you did this TB stuff before
TB
you came.
test,
Yeah. So, but me, I didn't do mine because police clearance after 3 months is expired. You have to do another one. TB after 6 months is expired. You have to do another one. And you need these things when you want to write your OSCE, like your police clearance, your TB, your IELTS, your CPT, all those credentials. You need to present them when you go to write your OSCE. And you can only write OSCE here in the UK. Like when you've moved into the UK, is one of the first exams you write before your registration process gets completed. So I was not in a haste. I wanted to get a job first before I do those things. But then I will advise you, once you've gotten your CBT, you've done it, book your TB, because it's very difficult to book for a space in IOM. The link I
TB is tuberculosis test.
Yeah.
And there are only 2 centers where you can do it. That's if you are traveling out. That's the center in Lagos and the center in Abuja. So you book online. They have a website to book online. You go for your test on the day of the test and you get the results. Then what again? Police test.
Yeah, police clearance and whatever. Like I said, you need to join groups. Yeah, so when the time comes for you to do this thing, all you have to do is ask online, oh, where can I get maybe the contact of a policeman or whatever that can do this thing for me. Contacts are plenty everywhere. For the TB test stuff, I'm going to give her a link. I don't even know if I still have the link, but I'm going to give her a link for the TB whatever, if it's still functional. But if it's not functional again, you can still in the same group ask again. There are people who every day they do these things. They can help you with getting the links on and how to go about them and all that. So now, like I said, don't be in a haste to do these things. Police clearance, make sure you've gotten a job before you do your police clearance, so that it will still be fresh. You can upload it anytime. TB, once you do your CBT and you've passed, book a date. The dates, I know what I'm saying. When I booked mine, the closest date I saw was like 3 months. Like 3 months
after you have resumed your job.
No, not after I would have, like, you know, if you want to maybe book a flight now, you might have dates from tomorrow, next tomorrow. So the closest date I saw was 3 months to that day. Wow. So, and the beauty of it was, my plan initially, which I'm going to tell you now, is when you get closer to your date and there is no sign of job or anything, you postpone the date to another closer date again that you see. Do you get? Then if you now fortunately get the job before that time, you can do a drop-in. What was the language you're using then? You have your receipt, you've paid and all those. You go and pay. Like when you get the job and your date is too far, you will pay. And then go to the office and tell them, they should not be offended. Like, just explain to them that this is what happened. You have a date already, but you need this thing before the date. They've given you a job, you have a resumption date, and it looks like it's not going to meet up. Just explain to them, beg. If it requires you giving some people money, you do. do your TB test. That's what I'm saying. You should just so do your TB. Police clearance should be just wait till you've gotten your job before you do police clearance stuff. It's not going to take more than 48 hours. In 24 hours you've gotten that already. And now I think they said they do it online and it's no longer 4K. I did mine 4K. Now they have a fixed price for that, and I think it's 20-something thousand or 40-something thousand. So you do it online. But don't worry, all this money you're spending, when you come in less than 2 months, 3 months, you've gathered back all those,
you've recouped it.
Whatever the English is. Yeah, so what else am I to talk about? So now when you've written your CBT, you start job hunting. But I have an advice for you. As long as you have your IELTS. Me, I started with IELTS. Some people prefer starting with CBT. I don't know what their reason is, but I started with IELTS. So once you've written your IELTS, that's the English exam, start looking for job. Job hunt will frustrate you. It will frustrate you. I know what I'm saying. So once you've gotten your IELTS, start looking for job. And as you're looking for job, in the personal description and all those things that they used to write, I'll also give her a link of a site where you can look for job. Call it Track Jobs. There are so many websites for that, but Track Jobs seems to be the surest so far. So how do you look for job? Use Track Jobs. They have you don't even need a CV when you're using Track Jobs. They have an online CV template. You just go fill in your name, answer those questions that you need to answer. So subsequent jobs, they will ask you, do you still want to continue with that CV, or you want something different? So it's not going to stress you. The only thing that will stress you looking for job online is personal specifications, about telling them, selling yourself. And what I'm going to advise you is, when that time comes, make sure you read the job description for the particular job you're looking you want to apply for. Let your personal specification
meet the job description.
Let it be in line with the job description. Now, like I said, be in groups. There are groups where they share examples of all these things. You can just pick, if you want to pick one, whatever it is you're picking, edit it. Don't just do copy and paste something. Even if it's your own personal, you already have a personal, like me, I had 2 personal specifications that I wrote. Do you understand? I still edit them every time. It's mine. I wrote them, but I edit them every time I want to apply. Make sure you read the job description. There may be something they are looking for in that job description. Then if you add in your personal, she has this, he has this, and they'll give the person the job. So let's pray that you get the job as soon as possible. Like I said, my own did not stress me. It didn't stress me at all. So
how often should one apply?
Very important. I'm going to say something now that will shock people. I was told to do at least 10 applications in a day. I did not do up to 10 because back then I was in Lagos. I was juggling 2 jobs. I've not even had time to rest, and I will now say I'm sending 10 applications, and each application is not an easy thing.
It's specific.
Yeah.
It's not that you're doing
copy and paste something. So your brain, everything is involved. I think the highest I was doing then was it 5? Between 3 to 5, depending on how the day was, but at least 10 a day. But all these things too is still grace. Do you get? I did not do up to half of what most persons did, and I still got job. What is yours is still yours anyways. So the job hunt is not going to be an easy thing. Let people know. This Imam Madu that they do in Nigeria, yes, connection, all those things, I feel they still do it here in a reasonable way, though.
Here at least you get qualified.
Exactly.
As far as
You need the qualification. The best thing, let's say if I have somebody up there, maybe in the recruitment whatever that I rapport with, I can just go and meet the person and tell the person there is someone who I don't have, or nobody should come and tell me to please, they are looking for a job. I don't have. I'm just citing an example. So yeah, so I can just tell someone, maybe in the recruitment team, that there's someone who is interested in working with this trust or something like that. They will not say, okay, maybe the person will still have to apply. So if the person applies, give them the application number or something like that. You still have to do your interview. If you don't qualify, they will not take you. If your personal specification doesn't meet what they want, they will still not take it. My own is just to tell them, this person is interested, please look towards this direction. They will still do what they want to
So
do.
in as much as they will refer you, you also need to bring in your A game. The person will not come and do your interview for you. The person will not come and write your CV for you. So referrals happen, but you also need to have done your own work.
Part. Yeah, do your part. So those are the two exams you write: the job hunt. Prayerfully follow whatever it is you're doing. Luck can also see you wherever it is you are. So now when you get the job, depending on the trust you get, some trust sponsors everything. The only thing you have to do is do that visa stuff, the biometric whatever. That's the only stress. In fact, if you pay for, like me, I paid for my biometrics, but they refunded me before that week even runs out, whatever. They gave me back the money. So the biometric and whatever, do it. Some trusts, that's hospitals here, we call them trusts. So some trusts will tell you, do all those things yourself, the flight ticket, the visa, everything. When you come in, they will pay you back. Some, like mine, the only thing you're using your money to do is the biometrics. The flight ticket, every other thing, they will pay for it. Me, till today, I don't know how much flight tickets cost, because I did not do it. My trust did everything for me. So depending on your trust. Now, don't be too desperate. Do you understand? If a trust gives you an offer and you feel it's not too good, and then make inquiries about where you're going to. Some places are very expensive to live in UK. Don't be in a haste to come to the UK and then you don't come and meet yourself in it. Yeah. So when you're given a job offer, apply to everywhere you see. Even London, that everybody's saying is expensive, apply. Then let it not be that you got the job and they do not meet your standard. You now say you don't want. Do you get? So apply everywhere. When you get the job and you feel, oh, this place is not really a good place, you can decide to reject the offer if you're given the job. So you get your job, you come in. So when you come in, the process after that is you don't even need anybody to tell you how to go about it. Do you understand?
So we might shoot another video on what you need to do when you relocate to the UK as a nurse. So if you are following this, you might just want to check back on the channel to see everything she now did when she got a job, came to the UK, the step by step until when she got her PIN to begin to practice. We'll shoot another video. Can you hear my baby crying? My baby is crying. Let me go and tend to her. So guys, I'm going to put this part at the beginning of the video. So this is my sister, a registered UK nurse, and I've got her to tell us the step-by-step details of everything you need to know and do to relocate to the UK as a nurse from Nigeria. Okay, this video is very, very detailed. No 1 second is a waste, so please pay attention, listen, and follow it to the T. Please share it with every other person you think might be needing this video. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. It will help you to reach every other, go far. Comment down below if you have questions. Ask me down there. I can send to her. She will answer us. And then subscribe to the channel if it's your first time here. Thank you. Let's go.